From the Buddy Steyer's Athletic Complex at Grand Park in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, it's a 10U elimination bracket ball game inside the 2025 TBS Nationals. Welcome to our page here on Facebook Watch. It's a matchup between the state of Nevada and the state of North Carolina when the Mission Saints take on LVR. And good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us right back here on the old.com. Back once again this year for the play-by-play story from the Fan, 680, 93.7 FM, Atlanta Sports Talk leader. I'm your host, Chris Mooneyham. Yeah, great to be back for another year of the national championships. I was gone last year. I was off coaching my own travel ball team, coaching my son last year. Boy, oh boy, did I miss it. We'll have Rick Goff, the executive director of Travel Ball Select, join us at some point during this broadcast, I would imagine, unless he's out putting out fires, of course. Not literally. It is that hot, of course. Of course, the weather has been a big storyline throughout this week. We've had a couple of great ball games in this 10U classification. Someone, unfortunately, going to be headed home after the completion of this ball game. Mission Saints out of North Carolina. Most of their players based out of Charlotte, from right around the Charlotte area. An honorable mention, nationally ranked team at the plate to start things. And here's a line drive down the left field line that's curving foul. Kellen Chisholm, the second baseman, to lead things off. Jackson Salmons is the EH hitting second. And Tatum Brantley, the third baseman, rounds out your guaranteed three here in the top half of the first inning. LVR out of Nevada, number 3 ranked team in America, according to the TBS top 25. Here's a high pop at second, the call and the catch. Chisholm is down on a P4. Mission Saints enter this ball game on a 5-2 overall record. They've outscored their opponents 44-30 in both pool play and bracketed play. Only 21-19 in pool bracket play, I beg your pardon. That's to be expected, though. Tighter ball games, no big surprise there. Here's the lefty, Jackson Salmons. Saints finished at 2-1 in pool play. Ground ball at second. 4-3 on the putout. So 2 quick ones gone in the visitors' half of the first. And here's Tatum Brantley. Brantley will be down at the hot corner for the Saints. Brantley with the nickname of Toot. I'm not even going to ask. Probably better that I don't know. Toot Brantley, big right-hander. Pop, as you'd imagine. His club allowed just 11 runs in pool play. Now it bounces up there. Got to get somebody on the scoreboard here for this game 2 of our 4 games on field 2. Ooh. That one got away from Austin Tyrell. Tyrell kicks and fires. Ball that sweeps outside. Now, visiting team will have to bring somebody over from their stands to handle the scoreboard. That's the rule, right? Home team on Game Changer, road team on scoreboard. We'll see if we can get a mom to come over here and handle the scoreboard for us. Or usually the 13-year-old. Whose little brother might be playing in this thing. Fastball stays high and he lost it. So Brantley reaches on the base on balls. Here's Cam Lingerfeld. Lingerfeld was listed as 88 on the roster sheet. He's cut that in half. Swing and a miss. Love this kid's stance. Good squat. Back leg pressure. Let's watch him drop into it again. Sets his back foot first. Little back and forth. Drops back on his right leg. Chopper. Hey, this is going to be a tough play. At third, second hop, throw to first, a good one for out number 3. Lingerfeld down on a 5-3, one-man reaches. He's stranded after the walk. We'll make our way to the bottom half of the first inning. And LVR out of Nevada, the number 3 team in the TBS rankings, will be striding to the plate. Harrison Lieberman, Traxis Oberlin, Banks Mossler will be your guaranteed 3 for the home club. At third and fair. Down into the corner. Chance for extra bases. Harrison Lieberman with a leadoff double. LVR with the start they needed. LVR been outscored in bracketed play, if you can believe it. But overall, they've outscored their opponents 33-31. Posted a 5-1-1 mark overall. 2-0-1 in pool play. Miles Weddington, man on the mound for the Mission Saints. Weddington kicks and fires. Ground ball at third. Oh, almost had the short hop. Snuck under his glove. Brantley maybe didn't quite commit as much as he probably should have on that one. Trying to field off to the side. The bane of my existence as a coach. Even at this age, I'm gonna still try to keep the boys moving to their right or left and get in front of the baseball. Just a little difference in coaching philosophy. Still so many coaches trying to teach these guys to field on the backhand at this age. Look at this ball flying out. There'll be no fielding this one, as Banks Mossler hits a 3-run home run. Put LVR up 3-0 in the first. Now, perfect timing as we watch the home run here and we get a breakdown. The executive director, Travel Ball Select, Rick Goff, the man himself, has joined the broadcast.
Chris, how you doing?
With a bang, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, what a time to sit down and see something like that, right? That's an exciting moment for that young man, for sure.
Sage Fesher now. Always important to get early runs, especially in a ball game that you know is going to be tight, most likely, right?
Yeah, you got to jump early. You know, every coach
thrown
wants
away.
A great start.
Fesher headed down to second, and he's in safely.
And this right here is a great example of why you want to get a good start. You get a 3-0 lead. You have all the momentum. The defensive team might be a little bit back on their heels, might not make that routine play, and you see the result of that right here is we go a little bit high and wide with the throw to first base, and horse is in air, and now we got another runner in scoring position as the team from Vegas wants to keep the pressure on.
Jackson Bain, the backstop. Lefty versus righty matchup. We saw East Cobb Astros Orange get 10 early runs in the first 2 innings of their matchup in the 9U elimination bracket ball game, and Carolina Black Marucci played well the rest of the way, but just didn't have enough juice to complete the comeback because of the early lead. Be a fly out to center field and a dandy of a play in center, by the way, by Grayson Pickler.
Yeah, it's tough in events like this to fall behind early. Most of these teams, you talk to their coaches, and they'll tell you the same thing. They can fall behind early locally at home and not worry about coming back against those types of teams in their local events. But you come out here to a national event where teams travel in from all over the country, they're not as forgiving as those local teams around your home area.
The sheer depth of quality. Runner at second, and he checks him.
I'm curious, Chris, to see how Mission comes out and plays in this ball game. They played a game this morning at 8:30 this morning against the East Cobb Astros that went 9 innings. And
chopper at first, gonna be close. Beat him to the bag. 3 unassisted. James Christensen retired. Runner moves down to third with 2 men out. That's Fesher.
So to finish the story on Mission and East Cobb this morning, they went 9 innings. And as we all know, this age group plays a 6 innings as a complete ball game. So they went 3 extra innings in a tremendous ball game that East Cobb ended up finally winning 10-6.
Breaking ball inside.
It was tied 5-5 after regulation. It was tied 6-6 after 6 innings. 7th inning, there was no score. 8th inning, there was no score. And then in the 9th inning, East Cobb pushes across 4, goes out and shuts them down to secure the victory. So curious to see how Mission comes out here, losing that tough ball game, see if they can regain their composure and get a little fight in them against this team out of Las Vegas.
Evan Holpuck, a ground ball to short. Backing up on it. Making the throw is Labrador. And he's errant from the bag. Runner down to second. 4 spot in the first.
See, there's a prime example that I believe is from the lag and the layover from that disappointing loss this morning. That play this morning is made routinely against East Cobb because they're in that ball game mentally, physically, and all the above things adjectives you described with this age group.
Austin Tyrell now. Tyrell, the right-handed hurler for the Vegas boys. Trying to add to his lead. Oh, got a hanger. Drilled it to right center field. Carrying back, the right fielder will come across. A play made by Holloway, and that will retire the side. An F8 by Tyrell, the final out of the inning. But a couple of errors, a couple of hits, 3 to be precise. The third of which a 3-run home run from Banks Mosler, and it's 4-0. Back at the Buddy Spires, thanks for joining us. Grand Park, Myrtle Beach, for a third consecutive year, plays host to the TBS Nationals. There's a pop on the right side that falls out of play. Trenton Holloway, the right fielder. Miles Siebert, the DH. Ethan Morales, the left fielder. You're guaranteed 3. Visitors half of the second. Yours truly, Chris Mooneyham, on the play-by-play. Home of the Atlanta Braves, the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Thanks for being with me. Rick Goff, Executive Director of Travel Ball Select, is with me. It's been a trying week, to say the least, with the weather. Ground ball at third and foul.
Yeah, Chris, it's been a trying. First of all, I want to tell you and all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
And
you as well.
I have some news that I became a newly crowned grandfather 5 months ago.
Right.
Little grandson, Luca. And so I want to take a second to shout out to him and my daughter and hope that they're enjoying their day as well. I wish they were here in Myrtle Beach with me, but they are home in Miami. And I'm sure they're in a little more comfortable conditions that we are sitting out here.
Now, only if they're inside.
True.
The way the weather is down there, not very dissimilar from here, I don't suppose. Here's Siebert with a runner at first now after the clean base hit to left by Holloway.
You had mentioned that this is our 3rd year out here at this complex, and this is your 2nd year after a 1-year absence.
Missed you last year, buddy.
So welcome back. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
The guy that filled in for you did an admirable job, but he's not you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. I missed you guys as well. I had to take my chance to do a little travel coaching of my own, of course. We had a good summer, really good summer, with a B team, bunch of guys who were learning to pitch for the first time. 5 new guys on a travel team and finished second in the state runner-up, second in 2 tournaments. Great accomplishment. So proud of those boys last year. Good gracious.
Now the big question is, coming from a dad who coached his son and has coached multiple teams without kids and run tournaments, do you have a different perspective now?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely right. Stolen base. That's the 47th stolen base we've seen out here today. No, I'm only kidding, but Holloway with the swipe. He's in scoring position for Siebert now.
You mentioned the challenging weather out here that we've had all week, and it has been a week not to write home about. We've been challenged with weather every day. This complex is absolutely beautiful. There's 9 all-turf fields, and they have 2 fields that are way off in the back here that were completely redone this past fall. They remodeled the whole thing. They re-lasered it, put new fencing. They put new dirt. It is now that turfist dirt that they have. The fields are absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But the key word is they're dirt. And they're not turf. So when the rains come, while we'll go back to playing on these beautiful fields and 10 or 15 minutes after it stops raining, those fields not so much.
Swing and a miss. Siebert down on strikes. First man gone in the inning. Here's Ethan Morales, the left fielder.
So we faced some challenges out there with the rain that took those fields out of play for us. Probably 4 out of the 5 days, either partial days or all days. And then we had to get creative and move some games in here for the little guys, 8-year-old, 9-year-olds. And so what happens is, everybody's appreciative. They were very patient with what we had going on, with all the schedule changes and communications with all the coaches and everything that went on. So I appreciate all their patience in working with us and getting all this in. But at the end of the day, Chris, we lost 4 games is all we lost. So,
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah. Kudos to the field staff here at Grand Park, Sayers Park here. They did a wonderful job and worked their butt off. I can tell you, we left out of here after 1 a.m. this morning, and we were right back here at 6 a.m.
Another pop out of play. This is a good battle here between Morales and Tyrell. How many stoppages did you have yesterday in total after I bopped in? I think, did you end up with 3 or just 2?
Just 2. Okay. We ended up with 2. They were both roughly about 2 hours apiece.
Uh-oh, deep drive, center field, carrying back, way back, and gone! That's exactly what the Saints needed. They cut the lead in half. It's 4-2. Ethan Morales with a 2-run bomb with 1 man gone here in the second.
Well, I tell you what, Chris, I don't know if you got a chance to see the young man rounding third, about halfway between third and home. The smile on his face it said everything. All you had to do was look at him.
So now 5 of the 6 runs scored in the affair have come via the long ball. LVR had a 3-run home run in the top of the first. Here's a deep drive down the left field line. This ball curving foul. You got 2 layers of temporary fielding out there, I noticed. A little earlier, 2 levels for the different age groups. Then, of course, the established fence in the back. This regulation play, what age? Do you know off the top of your head here?
Yeah, this is 10-year-olds.
No, I mean with the regulation field out there, that's got to be a 13.
So the full, we'll start at the short, go long. The short fence is 200 feet, and these guys play 45, 60 bases.
Right.
40, 60.
46, 60.
45, or 46, 60 bases.
Yeah.
It's been a long week, Chris, I tell you. Then the second fence is set up at 250 feet, and we'll tear the first one down, the 200-foot fence. We'll tear it down after the first game. And then the big boys, the 11 and 12-year-olds, will come on here and they'll play with the 250-foot outfield fence and the 50, 70-foot bases. And then if the main fence that's back there is 325 feet all the way around.
At third, up, over, and out.
Now the big 325-foot field fence is what we have the 13-year-olds play on. The 11, 12s playing the 250s, 8, 9s, and 10s playing the 200. But we were out here the other night, late at night, watching a few games, and we seen some 13-year-olds, about a half a dozen of them, clear the 325.
Really?
So, these boys, they can swing it, and, these elite teams don't have a problem with 325.
It's amazing the power explosion compared to past generations. Guys that You remember, God, what year was it? We were back in the old days when we were still over at East Cobb, and the kid hit the ball in the 11U classification up into the trees on that field.
Oh, yeah.
It'll come back to me. I'll keep thinking about it. Maybe we'll be able to remember. Another ground out ends the frame, but not before 2 runs come across. The big blow, a 2-run home run from Ethan Morales. It's a 4-2 game. Back in Myrtle Beach. Weather's held out. Knock on wood. I just jinxed it probably. Kevin Moreno to lead things off. 9 and 10 in the lineup, then back to the top. Not just Moreno, but Carter Henderson, then Harrison Lieberman. High drive to left. Carrying back and a reaching grab made. Just at the last minute by Morales. An adventuresome F7. Yeah, we were talking about power a little bit earlier. So many young men have so much more power than they used to. Especially once you get to about the 11-year-old division. Here's Henderson. We saw Malachi Washington, who's one of the top players in America, 2 classes. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, he'll be a junior this year. In my neck of the woods, on the east side of Metro Atlanta, plays for the legendary Parkview program. One of the great public high school baseball programs in America. I think they're a 4-time national champion, something like that. My sons, their school district's arch rivals. Here's a ground ball to short. 6-3 put out. Back to the top of the lineup. Harrison Lieberman with 2 men gone. But we saw Washington hit a bomb one year, I think when he was 11, where you and I were just marveled at the distance on it. Now he's one of the top-ranked players in America for his class.
Yeah, we've had the privilege of having a lot of top players here. We've had Lash Henderson here, Chase Fuller here. A lot of those guys. And let's face it, if you're one of the best players in the country, there's a good chance that you've rolled through the TBS Nationals at some point in your life.
Dylan Lesko was here during his youth days.
Yeah, he was here. Logan Evans.
Yeah.
Logan Evans was here. He's now one of the starters for the Seattle Mariners.
Dolander was here. He just pitched against the Braves last night, former Tennessee guy.
Yeah. Schwellenbach's been here.
Schwellenbach was here?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Schwellenbach's been here.
Who did he play for, do you remember?
Motor City Hit Dogs.
No.
Out of Michigan.
He played for Motor City? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Did I cover him? I'm going to have to go back and look it up.
I think you did, because they won the 13-year-old division one year.
I've got all my old books,
Yeah.
I've kept them.
Yeah.
That's how I know some of these names that have made it through. Otherwise, I'd totally forget. It's a 4-3 ground out by Oberlin to end the frame. We'll take ourselves another quick break and come back for the top half of the 3rd inning next. Well, no big surprise. Nip and tuck affair. Good defense, good pitching, good bit of offense as well. 4-2 ball game. Base hit to right center. That ball's going to get all the way to the wall. Grayson Pickler going to have to head back to first base. Great job by the right fielder and the center fielder to get over there in time and hold Pickler to a long single. He's the 10th man in the lineup. That'll bring us back round to the top. Kellen Chisholm. Chisholm, the second baseman, a pop out his first time up. Visitors half of the third inning. Saints to the plate, down 4-2. Chopper. Deep third, pops out of the glove. Everybody safe. Uh-oh. Now, you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times here, Rick. Feels like a rally.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, especially at this age level, at this age group or this level. Just a small window of opportunity can turn into such a mountain mass of runs here. Let's see how Vegas responds. You know, coaches, good coaches at this age, they're willing to give up a run to get some outs here and control that damage.
Runners both breaking. Throw down to third. Runner safe. So the tying runs now in scoring position. Tremendous speed on the pads, by the way, for the left-handed hitting Jackson Salmons. What do you think? That play at third, you're going to... Oh, well, runner coming to the plate. Throw. Safe under the tag. That play down at third, would you score that error, an infield hit? One that popped out of his glove.
Yeah, you might have to give him an error. I think if he gets that ball in his glove, he's going to make the play at first rather easily. So unfortunately, I'd have to give that young man an error. This slide here at the plate, watch this slide here. What a great slide by this young man. Gets his hand out of the way at the last minute. The left hand gets out of the way, slides in the back door with the right. That's a good job. That's well coached right there.
Chisholm, who reached on that error, makes his way over to third. Now the catcher hollers down to his coach. Coach Labradorn says that his...
Yeah, it looks like you probably got him on the swing. That happens a lot at this age. These catchers, they might set up a little too close to the batter, and a batter gets a long swing and catches the glove with the bat, and they end up with interference there. That's something that as he gets older, he'll learn and he'll change and he'll figure out that sweet spot to set up there.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the catcher's the one that called that out, by the way.
Told on himself?
I think he may have. Oh, they called a balk now on the pitcher, Weddington. And the run scores. So after the leadoff hit by Pickler, it's 2 errors and a balk to score 2 runs.
This is a great timeout by the coach of Las Vegas here. A couple of hits, a wild pitch got away to get a run in, and now a balk. This is a great opportunity to go out there and say some words of wisdom to the boys, calm them down. They jumped out to a big lead, but right now I would tell my boys, did you really think these guys were just going to roll over and quit? Right. I mean, we still have to play ball. 4-0, it's not going to win this game, as it's clear and evident now. But, you got to get your boys refocused, group back in. Now you're at 0-0, and now we got a whole new ball game.
Now, we talked about this throughout the years that we've worked together. Sometimes travel baseball will remind you of basketball with a phrase that we always use for basketball: everybody makes a run. So it goes back to your point earlier about, not being afraid to give up a run to get an out or 2. Make that fundamental play, get a big out in an inning, and help stave off a long rally. Big difference here at this level between a 2-run inning and a 4-run inning. If you can get that one key out. There's a high pop that's trailing off to the right side. The catcher giving chase, the pitcher giving chase as well. They come together, and it falls in between the 2.
That's a tough play for everyone involved. Anytime a foul ball like that, it's really hard for the catcher to read those, especially at this age level. The pitcher's coming in hard like he should, and ultimately it falls into no man's land. And as a coach, your first initial reaction is how did we not catch that? But I'm going to tell you, that play's a lot harder than a lot of people look when they see it on TV.
Brantley walked his first time up. Strike.
Good pitch on the outside corner there. Gets ahead in the count now. Now he can open up his arsenal here a little bit.
A ball and 2 strikes. Lead run at second. Deep drive to left. Hooking down towards the corner. Kicks out of the glove of the left fielder and comes resting down on the turf. Runner had to hold at second. Now they're going to wave him. Relay throw will not be made. Saints take the lead.
Well, there's a classic example again of when things are just not going your way. They're just not going your way. Made a nice read on the ball. I thought he took a very good angle to get to the ball. Did everything right except secure the ball on the catch. And falls and rolls to the fence, run scores. Now we got another runner at second base, and we're starting all over again where we were just at. Runner at second with another batter at the plate.
Lingerfeld at the plate, in fact. 5-3 ground out his first time up. Swing and a miss. Love this guy's stance, Rick. He's breaking it down on his first at-bat.
There's some kids that they have what we call it. And whatever they do, they look good at doing it. And this is one of them. This is a great little stance.
Fastball stays high. Tyrell trying to get out of it. Still got a long way to go to do that. Nobody out in the inning. A hit, 3 errors, and a balk in the inning.
Seems to me like the young man might be struggling just a little bit on the mound there. He's flying open a little bit. That left shoulder's coming out. And that's usually a sign of fatigue, and more so that he's wishing the ball to go across the plate than actually throwing it across the plate. And that's common at this age. It happens. You know, the kids get a little disheartened if somebody don't make a play, and then they start changing the mechanics, and then it just goes from bad to worse at that point. Hopefully the young man can recompose himself here, lock in, dial in, and get some outs here.
Yeah, besides the catchers, the fatigue of playing these long weeks worth of games will affect the pitchers more than anybody else. Because, after all, most of these pitchers are also regular positional players.
Yeah, correct. But regardless of that, no one takes as much abuse as those catchers.
Oh, yeah. Fastball stays high.
Yeah, see, if you notice, Chris, watch his head, and what happens is he gets it outside his hip, would be his left hip. And when his head falls out, his arm has to balance itself out, and that's usually when the balls go high.
Left leg, also lead leg, landing wide. That's a sign of fatigue as well.
Yeah, I think his coach realizes it right here. We're gonna get a change here.
Lingerfeld draws the base on balls. Trenton Holiday will be strutting to the plate, but he'll face a new hurler in light blue when we come back. Carter Henderson on the mound. The boys from Nevada. And he's rudely greeted by a line drive that's caught it short. The tag on the bag at second. How about that double play?
Yeah, I was blocked off by the home plate umpire, so unfortunately I didn't get to see that. But judging by the crowd, it was a great play. I'm gonna have to see it on the replay here because I was blocked off back here by the home plate umpire.
So it goes an L6 double play unassisted.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
nice play. Nice play by that young man. Oh, are we gonna have a challenge? Oh, it looks like we might have a challenge.
Well, this will already be our third challenge.
You had two in the first game?
Yes, indeed. Neither of which were overturned, by the way. So 0 for 2. Money Miles on deck. We'll pull down our audio. We'll take part of the conversation. We'll tell you about it when we come back. The old broadcaster jinx for you. I mean, it's a jinx if you're on one side of the conversation, of course. I guess you could still serve as a jinx no matter which side you're on. And our first challenge of the day that has been awarded to the team which challenged as the call's overturned. So it goes as an L6 on the put out of Holloway. Take off the double play. Brantley still down at the second base bag. Here's a chopper fielded by the pitcher. Henderson throws across for the out. Check the runner at third, and he's back safely. So Brantley at third, Lingerfeld at second, and now two men gone on the 1-3 putout of Miles Siebert. Money Miles. Here's Morales. Last time we saw Ethan, he was stroking a center field, stroking a home run, basically the center, left center. Big rain cloud now starts to roll over Grand Park and the Buddy Stiers Athletic Complex here. Of course, we know we've already did our meteorology bit and talked a little bit about the weather. You know, for those of you that have never watched our broadcast from year to year, we talk about it every single year. And that's not just because we're old men on the rocking porch. The weather is always one of the biggest storylines of our week. Always, every single year, it seems like we get at least a little bit of rain, no matter where we're at, by the way. Remember, these national championships have been held in 2 various spots in metro Atlanta throughout its history. Just south of Louisville, Kentucky, in Elizabethtown, in that great complex. And now here for a 3rd year outside of in Myrtle Beach. Wind's starting to pick up too. That's never a good sign. Top of the 3rd. This is the 8th man to bat in the inning, and now Morales is gone. But this was a very, very productive inning for the Mission Saints of North Carolina. The boys from the Queen City, or at least around the Queen City, come up with 3 runs in the inning to take a 5-4 lead. Bottom of the 3rd. LVR to the plate. The boys from Nevada. And it is Nevada, by the way. Don't make that mistake, like I did in the convenience store one year. Down to 3rd. Up, over, out. The retirement of Banks Mosler. Mosler, the last time we saw him, he was launching a 3-run home run to get LVR off on the right foot. Here he's down on a 5-3 ground out. LVR once held a 4-0 lead. Mission Saints went down with just 1 man reaching in the 1st. LVR came back in the bottom half of the 1st. Sent 8 men to the plate, plated 4 runs for a 4-0 lead. Since then, LVR sent 1 man to the plate in the 2nd, left him stranded. Mission Saints got 2 in that very next bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-run home run from Ethan Morales cut the lead in half. And last inning, the Saints plated 3 to take a 5-4 lead. Here's Fesher. Sage reached on an E. Yes, that's right, reached on an error. In that 1st inning, later came around to score a run. The 4th of the frame. Cloud, big storm cloud rolling right over the park. There's a strike. What Weddington, you wonder if he's energized here now. High fly, center field, coming on, the call and the catch. 2 men gone. Big here. If Mission Saints get a 1-2-3 inning and then get back to the plate, as they've scored 5 in each of the last 2 innings combined. First, they'll have to retire the catcher, Jackson Bain. Spinner that was let go too early. But you can see that angle. He was almost telegraphing that. As broadcasters, they tell us, don't ever call for a replay. It'll make Amy Walker angry. But I'd love to see a replay of that last pitch just a moment ago, just because from my vantage point, you can see me back here behind the plate. Hello, everyone. You could see the telegraphing of the way he let the baseball go as he was trying to spin off that off-speed pitch. He let it go too wide and too early. There it is. That was a beauty. And it's line right at the first baseman for the final out of the inning. Now that was a dandy of an off-speed pitch. 1-2-3 goes LVR in the third. Sawyer Roker lead things off. Top half of the fourth inning now, starting to get laid. Remember, for those of you the uninitiated out there, maybe you don't follow it, it's 10U classification. We play 6 innings. Time limits at 1:45. Ground ball at second. Up, over, out. 4-3 put out. Roker down on a couple of ground outs. One 5-3, 1-4-3. There's Lucas Labrador. He was a ground out victim his first time up as well, the shortstop. Behind 2-0 on the mound. Charged with the task of trying to hold down this Mission Saints offense that has gotten hot all of a sudden over the last 2 innings where they put 5 runs on the board. Here's a safety hit in the left field corner. Not sure if he'll have enough time to get to the second base bag, but he will. Stand-up double, in fact, for Lucas Labrador. Karate Kid celebration? does that kid know about the Karate Kid? They do that in the new one? I bet they do that in the new one. They just had a new Karate Kid movie. Ralph Macchio is in it. So I bet that's where he saw it. I haven't seen that one. There's Grayson Pickler. Pickler started the 3-run uprising last inning. Started that inning with a single, later scored a run. Saints once trailed 4-0. Strike. Light little spit of rain coming down here on field 2 at the Buddy Stiers. Swing and a miss. Pickler out in front. Now back to the top of the order, Kellen Chisholm. Just off the corner, eh? Maybe that one a little low. They call Kellen Wheels. Runner breaking, swing and a miss. Throw down to third late. Well, that was tough because the backstop had to throw over the top of Chisholm. He was 0 for 2 in the ballgame with a pop out, reached on an E5. Now he's behind 1-2. I don't want to jinx it, but it feels like we're going to get out of Dodge. The cloud's not going to dump on us. Swing and a miss. And that will be the frame. A double with 1 out, but Labrador stranded. Bottom of the 4th coming up in a 1-run game. Got ourselves a pitching change here. Get you the new number coming up here in just a moment. LVR to the plate. Still trailing by a run. James Christensen, Evan Holpuck, and Austin Tyrell. Guaranteed 3 in the innings. Number 6, 7, and 8 in the lineup. Just 1 hit in this ball game, by the way, since the 3rd batter of the ball game. The last 11 men to come to the plate for LVR. They got 3 hits to start the affair, and boy, I am 3 for 3 on the broadcaster jinx today. I'm going to buy a lottery ticket on the way back to the hotel tonight. Rick, you got any numbers you want me to throw in? Or?
I was going to say, some people are going to ask for you to do certain things here, it looks like.
Christensen now 1 for 2 in the ball game.
Had to step away for a second to handle a few things around the park that needed my attention. It's never-ending job when you put on a tournament of this caliber. There's always something to be done, and while you have a great staff that's in place, some things require your immediate attention, and you have to step away for an inning or two.
100%.
But when I left, we had a challenge that was done, and I'm curious to know what was the result of that.
Well, that was my second jinx of the day. They ended up overturning the call on the field. Remember, we had just been speaking about how we had not had a challenge overturn a call.
Yeah.
It was that line drive double play down at the second base bag.
Yep, that's what happened when I had to step away, and I was blocked by the umpire, so I couldn't really see what happened. But it sounds like they reversed the call, and the main thing is we get it right.
Yep. Center field, ball carrying relatively deep. Called and caught by the center fielder. Christensen going to retreat back to the first base bag. Hull puck retired on an F8. That's Rick Goff, the Executive Director of Travel Ball Select. Me, I'm merely Chris Mooneyham. From Atlanta Sports Talk Leader, the Fans, 680, 93.7 FM. You'll be happy to know my son made the championship of his tournament.
That's great news.
And now they'll be playing an East Cobb team. Maybe. I shouldn't get ahead of myself. Hey, that ball slipped out of his hand as he was trying to pick off the man at first. Went rolling down the right field line. This could be a two-base error. Christensen coasts into third. That's big. Mark that in your scorecard now. Potential tying run down at the third base bag with 1 out.
Yeah, a throw like that gets away from the first baseman. It's going to roll down that left field line pretty far. So 2 bases are pretty common when something like that happens. It's unfortunate that it happened, but the result is pretty common.
Now, by the way, I've got the name on the new hurler, by the way, so I hate to bring it up right after that error. It's Tucker Seifert. Tucker Seifert, the new hurler, as he takes over from Miles Weddington. It's bad timing. I'm sorry, Tucker. I learned his name just in time for him to commit an error.
Just in time, right?
That's the way it goes.
I'm sure Mom appreciates that.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Seifert. Promise you it wasn't purposeful. It was just bad timing. Hey, this ball smoked into center field. The center fielder coming on, makes a dandy catch. Runner going to not tag at third and hold. Oh, baby.
Yeah, I don't think that's what Coach wanted down there by his reaction down there in third base. You got to remember, these guys are 10 years old, and their first reaction when a ball is hit like that is they just want to, for some reason, they want to go to the plate and don't come back and tag. And by the time they realize it, it's too late. They can't do it.
Seifert with a chance to get himself out of the jam. Swing and a miss. This is Moreno, Kevin Moreno. Kevin 0 for 1, a flyout victim to start the second inning when he tested the left fielder and lost that battle. Ground ball, left field, base hit. LVR ties the ball game at 5 apiece.
Big at bat here by 7. Stands tall with the stance here, bat over his shoulder. Gets that front foot down, whips the barrel head through, drives the ball through the 4-5 hole. And, I'm sorry, drives it through the 5-6 hole, my mistake. And gets it base hit, RBI, ties up the game.
Here's the new hurler for LVR, Carter Henderson. Boys from Nevada, number 3 in America in the TBS rankings. It's Nevada, by the way, don't make that mistake.
Nevada?
Nevada.
Nevada?
Oh, yeah, it's Nevada. I never told you my Nevada story? Oh.
I don't think so.
I go on vacation with the, then my girlfriend. We got engaged on this trip. South Lake Tahoe.
Love Tahoe.
Oh, boy, you're telling me. One of my favorite places in the entire world.
I would agree.
That's where I asked her to marry me, right there on the lake. So we're in Nevada. Stop off at the, we're just driving around, seeing all the sights, you know what I mean? Out in the middle of the desert and all that, such as it is in Nevada. Stop at a convenience store to Probably get her some kind of fruity snacks or something, you know, some Smarties or some Spree or those Tic Tacs that are fruity that she loves so much.
It's something that she won't admit to eating now.
Right, right. Get me a water and like a beef jerky, I don't know. So I show my idea. I bought an adult beverage for when we got to the nature spot we were getting to. Hey, look at that. Pop the end off of his bat. That one going to drop in for a base hit. They're going to hold Moreno at third. He's going to retreat back. The tag comes in and he's safe. Boy, a lot happening on that play.
Yeah, everything was done right on that play, Chris. I mean, it was off the end of the bat.
Watch the plastic come popping off the end here.
Gets off of that, falls into no man's land. Left fielder gets it, but the Vegas coach sends the runner. You tell your runners, you keep running until I tell you to stop. And when he realizes that the left fielder's going to come up with the ball cleanly, he holds and retreats him. But it almost backfired because they threw in behind him at third base and came close to getting him out.
Henderson with a hit. Now LVR back to the top of the lineup. Carter going to head down to the second base bag with an uncontested stolen base. And Harrison Lieberman, who's already 2 for 2 with a double and a single and a run scored, is in a big spot for his club. Elimination bracket ball game, 10U classification of the national championships. It's a massive at-bat in this ball game. 2 men gone. Tie game. Little nubber, could be tough. Third baseman's up, over, and just in time for the out. I pull out my identification at the counter. She says, "Oh, you're from Georgia. Your first time here?" I said, "Yes, absolutely love Nevada." She slammed my drink down on the counter and said, "It's Nevada. We say Nevada." I said, "My mistake." Grabbed my drink, turned around and walked out. 5-5 game. The hour draws late. 5th inning. 5-5 ball game. Jackson Salmons, Tatum Brantley, Cam Lingerfeld. 2, 3, and 4. The visitors' half of this 5th inning. Just moments ago, LVR put a single stick on the board to tie us at 5-5.
So here you now you are at a point in the ball game. You're at the top of the 5th, 5-5. So basically what we've turned this into is a 2-inning ball game.
It has been an entertaining ball game.
That's normally what you get when you have 2 teams of this caliber playing this deep into a tournament.
Yeah.
They're not here by mistake. You know, they do the things the right way.
Stays high. Quite snap it off. Get that elbow and the right placement.
This is a great example of these 2 teams right here that's unfortunate that someone's going to have to go home.
Hey, that's a fair ball. Eats up the third baseman. Leadoff man aboard. Now, if you were ever going to call an error a hit, that's a funny hop.
Yeah, you know what? That one I might give a hit. That's a tough play. He's going away into foul territory.
It's backing him up. Speedy runner. He's going to have a tough time throwing him out. I'm not telling you it should be a hit, but I'm just, I'm trying to think about it fairly.
I think I would give him credit for a hit.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same.
I would. It's going to take a very impressive play to get that.
I'm always going to try at this age too to not give an error if I can help it. I know really you're not supposed to do that, but I mean, come on.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, whether they're 10 or they're in the big leagues, it's still discretion, right?
Yep. Oh, great throw. Got him! Oh, baby, what a throw! Even more impressive at this age.
Yeah. A throw right on the money. Was that the shortstop or was that the second baseman that received the ball?
I did not see who was covering.
Whoever covered did a great job of coming in front of the bag, receiving the ball early, and then making the tag.
Yep, here comes the challenge.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Lively, he only gets 2, regardless of the outcome. He only gets 2, and looks like he's going to use his second one right here. Look at right here, how he steps in front of the bag, catches the ball, and drops the tag right on him. Now, when we go back to these replays, Chris, what people need to realize is every part of this play is open for discussion, including if we have him blocking the bag here, which it doesn't appear that we're going to have that. But I just want to let people be aware that that is also a part of the play. Even though he might be out, he still could possibly be safe if they determine he's blocking the bag. I don't think that's the case here, but we had that happen a couple of years ago in one of our games to where there was a player that was called for blocking the bag. Watch the throw right here as the catcher receives the ball from the pitcher. The transition and from right here. Oh, that was a ground ball. We've got the wrong replay here. Well, it looks like they're going to be up here. They're going to talk about it. They're taking a look at the replays right now and to kind of see what they can come up with. I was hoping to talk a little bit about the catcher and his transition on that throw. As you had mentioned, this is a tough thing for this age group to do, is to make that throw to second base. Because a lot of things need to happen. The pitcher needs to be able to hold the runner on properly. He needs to slide step towards the plate to cut that down. It's just one of those things that you don't see a lot of at this age. So kudos to all of them. Kudos to the coaches and everybody that teaches this the proper way. We'll get a good look at it here. I think this is the play. I think we found it now. Oh, he's able to cheat a little bit. You see him step up out of that
Indeed.
stance?
Yeah.
He's able to cheat a little bit right here, right there when he pops up.
Straight steal, and you can see it was a take sign for the hitter because the young hitter actually starts to back out if you'll watch it again here, by the way. That actually makes it easier for the catcher.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
That's why at this age, you'll have a lot of
stay in there.
Yep. Or you just play for the hit and run. Just have them swing, give away the strike.
Good slide step by the pitcher. Good transition, great feet work. Mask comes off like it should.
Now we've got to get the replay with the action on the bag.
Yeah, they've got it up here above us. We're not getting the same thing they're seeing up there, so they're up there taking a look at it right now, and they'll have a decision here real soon.
Again, remember, these 6-inning ball games, so we're getting late. In the major league sense of things, this would be the top half of the 8th inning. We're tied at 5-5, elimination bracket ball game. So someone will be headed home after the completion of this one. All right, so there's your call.
I didn't hear what he said. He said the runner, there was no what?
I missed it too. I'm sorry. I did not see him walking out there, and I actually kind of stepped on it. I apologize.
I didn't pick up what he said there.
Yeah, that was my fault. I thought we had more time.
Well, at the end of the day, the call was out. That's what we know.
Meanwhile, while the loser will be headed home, the winner of this one will be headed on to the national championship game to take on the East Cobb Astros. East Cobb trying to win themselves a handful of championships at various ages.
Yeah, they've done real well.
Southeast today.
They've done real well in this event here. I think they've got teams vying for championships in the 9U, 10U, 12U, and 13U divisions. They're all still alive.
2 teams in
a couple of them.
Yeah, in 9U. They got orange and regular, if you prefer. Here's Tatum Brantley. Toot lines one into left field. That one falling for a base hit. So he's aboard with 1 man out. Of course, I've mentioned there's a tournament going on back home in Metro Atlanta, where East Cobb is about to play the old Brookwood Broncos in the championship. Last time I mentioned this team went fun.
Oh, you can mention them any chance you get. A proud dad, there's nothing wrong with that.
I really just bring it up because, again, it could be a big weekend for East Cobb's legendary program.
There's a few programs that stood the test of time. We've talked about since in the past, and you know, doing this as long as I have, over 20-some years, you know, you don't see too many programs last that long. But East Cobb is definitely one of those programs that have stood the test of time and have a great reputation for what they do, and the players they send on to the next level too. So it's a tough program to be around.
Lingerfeld went. That'll be a strike. Here's a throw down. He may have nabbed another one. Yes, indeed. How about this?
Wow. Boy, I tell you what, Chris, it's impressive enough to get 1 runner in a game. This young man has shot down 2 runners in the same inning. That is very impressive.
I'd love to tell you who that is, but they did not give us the defensive assignments. I cannot read with in harness. Oh, no, absolutely. That's Jackson Bain. It's Jackson Bain. With 2 runners thrown out on the base paths, and now it'll be even bigger, as this is going to be a double for Lingerfeld. Sliding headfirst and safe. And so now, how about these caught stealings? Caught stealings? Yeah, I don't know that that's the best way to say it, but yeah, back-to-back runners reach. Infield single, he's caught stealing. Right after that, Brantley singles. Then he's caught stealing. And right after that, Lingerfeld doubles.
Yeah, those are going to loom large in a game like this. You're in the 5th inning late, as we know. It's 5-5. And I was just getting ready to say that if I was Vegas, I might just put a kid at first base and see if we can throw him out again.
Invite him to steal.
Invite him to steal.
Holloway with a ground ball, backhanded at third. Check the runner. They've got him in a pickle. Throw down. Now to third. Henderson going to chase him as he should. Fire. There's the tag, and there's the inning. How about the defense out of LVR? The Nevada men have kept us in a 5-5 ball game. Bottom of the 5th. Coming up next. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 in the home lineup. It's an LVR program that entered the national tournament at number 3 in America in Rick Goff's rankings, TBS rankings. Deep drive, right field, moving back and over the extended glove of the right fielder. Lead-off double. Traxus Oberlin.
You know, Chris, there's nothing harder to judge than a ball that's hit right at you. And that was the case here. He didn't think it was hit as hard as it was. And he made the critical mistake that most kids at this age make is they backpedal instead of taking a drop step. And that makes a difference in that. So I'm sure that's something the young man will learn from. And I'm sure the coach will remind him that's why we take drop steps and back instead of backpedaling.
Here's Mossler. Banks hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. This ball game started with a rifle shot, double, single, and then 3-run home run from Mossler to give his club a 3-0 lead. A lead that would eventually balloon to 4-0 before giving up 5 straight. In the dirt, tying run, 60 feet away. 65 feet away. Now you've got me confused.
65 feet
there
away.
It is, yeah.
Now I got to ask: has there been a new terminology or a new term come in the broadcasting world? You know, throw the ball in the dirt. Well, we don't hardly play on dirt anymore.
Down in the dish, down at the dish. Yeah, I've used that one. Yeah.
But it's ironic and weird that down in the dirt still applies.
Yeah.
And everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
Yes,
right?
indeed.
It's universal.
This LVR program, for me, sort of burst onto the scene. We've got ourselves a new pitcher on the mound for the Saints. We'll get you the number here in a moment. But tell us about this program, or at least what you know. And look, I'm catching you flat-footed here. We didn't rehearse this or anything, but obviously you might know a little bit about them anyway, because
sure,
to see them number 3 in the national rankings was a bit of a surprise for me, I must admit, as I started to do my research a couple of months ago to get ready for this event.
Yeah, so, I mean, the initial answer is it's my job to know,
right,
and to figure these guys out. But as I warn everybody and I tell everybody, it's not an exact science when we do these things, because I quickly remind them of the football rankings, the preseason football rankings, and it was something like 3 teams in the top 10 preseason college football rankings that didn't even earn a playoff game or a bowl game.
Berth.
A bowl game.
Oh.
Didn't know, not only a playoff berth, they didn't get a bowl game.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, it goes to show you that guys that get paid way more money than I do to make rankings don't even get it right. So that makes me feel a little bit better when we do these things. But no, this team out of Las Vegas definitely earned the ranking. You know, playing out west, it's our biggest challenge when we do stuff like this, because you have to compare teams from the East Coast to the West Coast to the Midwest, and it's very rare that they all come together at the same time to play.
Right.
This is one of those times. This is one of those times where LVR says, hey, listen, you know what, we're going to go out to Myrtle Beach and we're going to mix it up with some other top 10-year-old teams in the country. And so that's what happens, and then, you know, it kind of solidifies what we do. But they've got a great program. It's been around for a number of years in Las Vegas. Probably the premier organization from top to bottom in Vegas right now is LVR. They do a great job. They have great coaches in their organization, and you can see it reflects on them here. As I've talked to parents, I've watched their games. Chris, I tell you, they do everything the right way from top to bottom.
Lucas Labrador is the new man on the mound, and he is greeted with a rifle shot to left. He inherits a 2-0 count.
I can tell you, Chris,
this will be his batter, by the way.
Most coaches, when a new pitcher comes in, they tell their hitters, be ready for that first one.
Yep.
Because he wants to get ahead.
Mossler already with a home run, as I mentioned, and a 5-3 ground out. He's gone from ahead in the count 2-0 to a 2-2 count.
Right now, you can't give him anything to hit. We need to put this ball in the proverbial dirt right here.
High and away. Showed him the fastball.
The main thing is it wasn't a strike and it wasn't reachable. If he was going to swing at that, he was getting himself out.
Yep. Lost him. Wild pitch. comes back into this short backstop, not allowing the runner at third to advance any further, Oberlin. So it'll be some base on balls for Mosler. Here's Fescher.
This is a situation to where different teams at different ages play this differently, first and third. Chances are he's going to go, and he's going right now.
Not even checked by Labrador. Lucas Labrador was in the zone and not even checking the runner. Look at this lead out there by Mosler at second, too.
Well, the standard lead on this, when the infield's drawn in, the standard lead is you go as far as the shortstop.
That's exactly what I was about to say. You read my mind. Of course, the reason for that is because the infield has come in this late inning situation. 0-1 count. Foul. 0-2.
Well, I tell you what, if I was Mission here, right here, I think I would pull my
third baseman back. Oh, second.
No, I would pull him over. He's a dead pull hitter here.
I pulled that third baseman back just a hair, put him even with the bag personally. But I see your point too.
We got to put the shift on here. Yeah. It's legal here. I guess the way you combat that for Mission, though, is if you keep throwing them outside, you're hoping to get them to roll over right to your third baseman and your shortstop. That's the plan here.
Ground ball at short.
He'll
come to the plate. The throw is high and the run is in. Everyone else tries to advance, and they will. They had him. It worked out to perfection for Mission. Unfortunately, the shortstop just couldn't quite lay the throw down into the breadbasket.
Boy, I tell you, Chris, Mission did exactly what I had just said before the pitch. Throw something outside, get him to swing on that outside pitch, roll it over to the shortstop. Perfect plan by the coach of Mission. The execution just didn't work out in their favor. And that's the hardest thing, Chris, is that small throw from short to home doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's just got to be a good throw. And that's where the kids at this age, they think they've got to make that perfect throw. They rush it. They think they got to put it right on the bag to make that perfect throw, and then that's the result that usually happens.
Now, because you're in and with the ball hit so hard, you don't need to. You have more time than you think you do.
Play catch. That's all you got to do.
Yep.
And now you find yourself in the same situation. So the Saints naturally got their infield in again.
For Jackson Bain at the plate. 0 for 2. Fly out, line out, deep ball to left, carrying back, and gone! It's a 3-run home run for Jackson Bain. The LVR backstop has just given his team a 4-run lead.
Boy, Chris, how often do you see a player at any level make a great defensive play and then come up in that inning and help your team out? Bain threw out 2 runners in the top of the inning, or in the last half inning here, and he comes up and puts his club up with a big 3-run bomb to left field.
Opposite field. If they go on to win the national championship, they'll call this the Jackson Bain game. Here's Christensen. Takes ball 1. James Christensen. 1 for 2, a ground out, and a single, where he scored a run back in the 4th. That was the run that tied the ball game. Or actually, that run gave them the lead. No, I beg your pardon, that was the tying run. Remember, LVR was up 4-0, then gave up 5 straight and had to tie it up a few moments ago, a couple innings ago. Now, they got a big lead at 9-5. And just like that, they're 3 outs away from winning the ball game, by the way, Rick.
Well, we talked about that in that last inning. You turned this tie game, you turned it into a 2-inning game. And LVR now has taken advantage of those 2 innings. But you know what? The boys from Mission still get to swing. And we're not going to cut them short or put them out to pasture yet, because this is 10-year-old baseball at the end of the day.
Hey, saw Dad going out to talk to his son there.
I've coached my son for many years. I can tell you that's a hard conversation to have when you walk out to the mound as a dad.
Yep. hole puck. Reached underneath 6 and was down on a flyout. Runner breaking. Throw down to second. He's safe.
I tell you, as a coach, right now, you want to sell to your team. Keep this a 4-1 game because one swing to the back can still tie the game. So that's what you're trying to sell to your team right now is, hey, we're down 4. Let's don't fall behind any further. And stranger things have happened here in a last at bat.
Ground ball at first. Great backhanded play. Step on the bag. Check the runner. That's only the second out of the inning, by the way.
Well, I tell you what, this is a tough play for the first baseman. Opposite field here, and a short hop in between. Number 12 there made a nice play on it, moved his feet, got over, got a great backhand there, and made a play for his team when they needed to make it.
See Tyrell now. You talk about the difference in 4 and 5 statistically. The chances of coming back from 4 down and 5 down are astronomically different.
Especially at this age, it's more of a mental. The mental thing at this age is the biggest challenge for any coach in the country to deal with 10-year-olds.
2 biggest jumps in statistical opportunity to come back is from a 2-run deficit to a 3-run deficit, and then from 4 to 5, 2 to 3 and 4 to 5. You wouldn't believe that. Not as big of a difference between 3 and 4 as you'd think. And 1 and 2. Oh, ball called. Oh, baby. Oh, you hate that for the kid.
Yeah, you hate to see that one. Of course, that's the big run we were talking about there.
Yep.
That one was coming right at me. I was ready to catch it.
You didn't flinch, though. I'm proud of you.
I'd like to say this from experience. I think it's just from pure exhaustion and being worn out. Is probably more of a believable factor.
You've seen the famous video online of the guy who sitting right behind home plate, foul ball is hit right back into the screen right in front of him. He doesn't flinch.
Doesn't move.
He's there with his 2 sons. They make a big deal about it. The crowd makes a big deal about it. He doesn't think it's a big deal. 2 pitches later, the same exact thing happens. He doesn't move an inch again. Everybody goes nuts. A base hit for Tyrell. 7th man, 8th man in Kevin Moreno, who's now striding to the plate. 8th man to the plate in the inning. High pop, this will be playable. Called at second and caught for the out. That should be, oh, I beg your pardon. That is 2 outs in the inning. I wrote the fielder's choice down earlier. That was the fielder's choice on the run scoring. That was not an out. Confused myself in my scorecard here, Rick.
Yeah, that's easy to do. Doing as many years as you've been doing this, I'm sure it's happened more than once.
When was the last time you scored a book scored a game in a book?
Honestly, it was when my son was playing. My son's 30 now, and when he was playing, probably junior high baseball, maybe.
Yeah. Smoked. Left center field. Will it get enough height? Not quite. So it'll one-hop the wall. Runner headed into third and standing in safely. It's a 2-out double for Henderson. I haven't attempted to teach my sons yet.
How to keep a scorebook?
Yeah, it's getting close.
I was recently going through some stuff in my attic, my garage, storage, whatever you want to call it, and I came across some old scorebooks back from 20 years ago. And one of the names that popped up in my scorebook was J.J. Bleday.
Oh, yeah.
who happens to be the outfielder for the Oakland Athletics right now.
Yep.
And JJ played for me in a couple of tournaments back when he was 10 years old. And so that was a blast from the past to look back and see that and kind of chuckle. And, I still stay in touch with JJ and his dad to this day. And I sent him a picture of it. And his dad swears that he remembers those games.
Yeah.
From all that time ago. I'm not really sure if he did or not, but because I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. So, remembering something that happened 20 years ago is pretty amazing.
Pitching change made here. I love the coaching staff for Mission. Pulling Sawyer Roker, I beg your pardon. Sawyer Roker off the field while Grayson Pickler is warming up. To let him get out of the sun, they put a cool towel around his neck. And that's what youth sports is all about.
Yeah, it's, again, these guys are asked sometimes to play 2-3 games in a day. And most teams have multiple catchers. But, I've been in some of these, local tournaments and stuff like that where they only have one catcher.
Yep.
And so that young man is back there and it gets hot and some people don't have the wherewithal or the foresight to get their catcher off the field and get him drink of water, get him a chance to take that hot mask off and get a little breather. But these guys did. And that just shows you the level of coaching that you see from these programs to be aware of. It's the details that matter,
yeah.
The small things. In families, when you're at games like that, and if you notice that your catchers come off the field, be thankful that you have a coach who pays attention to the small things.
Strike.
Little floater there.
Harrison Lieberman. Yeah, you serve as a surrogate parent so often on these teams. For these young men, you got to look out for them. Take care of them.
I'll take it a step further and say that it's just as thankless of a job as being a parent as being a coach.
It's a big spot. Oh, gets away. Runner to the plate. 6-run game. Tyrell scores. His first run score of the ball game after his hit just 3 batters ago. Henderson moves down to the third base bag. Here's a good look at it.
If you notice here, Chris, he does the same thing. He'll fall off to the first base side of the mound, and the arm tends to balance the body out. That's where you see those high pitches come into play.
It's a walk to Lieberman. Now Traxis Oberlin is about to have his second at-bat of the inning. Runner goes from first. He'll be in safely. Runner breaks to third, and it's all coming up aces in this inning for the Vegas men.
I see what you did there with aces in
Thank
Vegas.
you. I've been holding on to that one.
Yeah.
Not really. I just popped my head. Base hit. Another run across. Wait a minute now. That should be 8 after 5, and it is.
That's going to do it. That's a shame. I tell you, Chris, this is one of those games to where the final score is not going to be reflective of this game at all. Mission, boy, I tell you what, they are a very, very good baseball team. They're well coached, and one inning where things just did not go their way and couldn't catch a break here turns into what was a 5-5 ball game.
Right.
Into a 13-5 ending score. So people are going to wake up in the morning and going to see this final and think it was something that it was not. Mission's a very, very good ball club.
Boy, you just never know what you're going to see here from year to year and week to week, day to day, game to game. But as Rick mentioned, a 5-5 ball game that was nip and tuck and highly entertaining all the way throughout is absolutely broken open here in the fifth inning. 11 men to the plate, 2 walks, 4 hits, make it 5 hits in the inning, 2 doubles with a home run as well. So that we will bid adieu here with this elimination bracket ball game. And don't forget, the winner of this one now moves into the national championship game in the 10U classification, where they will take on East Cobb's Astros for the crown. Also, don't forget that we're not done with our coverage. In fact, we're only halfway through. Coming up a little bit later here on the Facebook Watch page for Travel Ball Select, we'll have the 11U National Championship, and then our nightcap will be in the 12U classification. For Rick Goff and our entire crew here at the Buddy Stiers Complex at Grand Park, I'm Chris Mooney. Thanks for joining us, everybody. It's another week of the Travel Ball National Championships on Facebook.